All right, Fishaholic fam. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching. Welcome back to another episode. I'm just pulling the Fishaholic rig out of my slip here at Montauk Anglers Club, and it's a beautiful morning. Very low winds. The last like 3 or 4 days though have been extremely windy, rainy. The seas have been rough. But this morning into like early afternoon, I'm thinking that it's going to be pretty calm. We could go out there and maybe start out with some striped bass, see if we can get on a little striped bass bite. And we need a big doormat fluke for the Montauk Anglers Club tournament. And I'm hoping this season I can get a double digit. That's like the long-term goal. So we'll do a little fluking today. It hasn't been good. It's been extremely futile, but maybe we'll get lucky and find that one roguey doormat sitting on the bottom. So let's head out of the harbor and we'll work our way out towards the rips and we'll just go from there. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy this video in the end, please smash that like button and hit that little bell notification button right next to the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button as well, and you'll be able to get notifications for when future uploads are posted. So let's get into it. All right, we are on our first spot for the day. Let's try this 1.5 ounce Wonder Bread Bucktail. Sadly, right now there's not much surface feeding activity. I thought that there'd be some birds and fish working bait up near the surface, and that still might happen, but we'll see. Let's hook a pork rind on our bucktail. And we're gonna cast it out. And we'll get it down near the bottom and we'll jig hard up and follow it down slow as we drift over the spot. This first spot is basically like a high spot in 50 feet of water, and it comes up to about like 30-35 on top of the main spot, and the fish sit on that as the current flows over it, and they wait for bait to come by for them to eat. There he is. There we go. That didn't take long. First drop, guys. Haha. All right, we got a striper. Oh, quick release, or a Palm Beach release. in Montauk. Let's see if we can get another one on our second drop. So we're already like halfway into the incoming tide. So we'll probably just striper fish for the majority of it until the incoming current starts to slow up a little bit, and then we'll switch over to Fluke. Also, if we're lucky, maybe we could catch 3 or 4 relatively big striped bass, like over 40 inches. And I want to get a picture of it, a length of it, and enter it into the On the Water Striper Cup tournament. And I think for every week you can like upload 3 striped bass, and I think like the more bigger striped bass that you enter for that per week, then you get more entries for the raffle giveaways each week. And it's kind of cool. It's my first time trying the Striper Cup. My buddy Mike convinced me to join this year, so I entered a 45, a 40, and a 38-inch striper last week, and I had a charter over the weekend, and of course we caught many fish over 40 inches, and the customer also caught his new PB at 49 and 3/4 inch, so almost 50 inches, casting this plug here. This is a Nomad Design Mad Scad 150, and I was hoping the fish will be on top today so I could throw this plug, so we'll see. And if you guys are interested in booking a charter with me, I'll put a link in the top of the description, and you know, reach out and I'll try to get you guys on some fish. Let's go up for another drift. Bucktail looks good. There we go. Oh, that one crushed it right under the boat, guys. Woo! Wow. He just found out he's hooked. Nice. That's a better one. Literally, that was like 8 to 12 feet under the boat. There we go. Not bad. Look at that on his tail. If you're a marine biologist, what is that from? Is it from spawning, or is it some kind of virus? Let's see how big this one is too. It's probably 33 or about 34, a little over. Oh, see ya. Go get 50 pounds or 50 inches. Let's try here. I made a slight move in a little bit closer to the lighthouse from where we started. Ooh, There's some bigger fish right there on the bottom, 47 feet down. Let's get him. There he is. Got him. That doesn't feel like a striper. If it is, it's not a big one. It might be a schoolie or barely a slot. Feels like a bluefish. Nope, it's a schoolie. Woo! He's pulling hard at the boat. That might be just 28 inches. Yeah, probably still a slot. Yeah, that one was biting my thumb. I couldn't let him go. Oh, there's one. Phew, that one feels decent. Nice. This one's in the upper 30-inch range. There we go. Not bad. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's get a measure on this one. 37. Getting a little bit clearer out here, which is nice. Just got to the bottom. I'm gonna try bumping the engine in and out of gear as we're going over the spot, just so I can just snap jig right behind the boat and we can move the bucktail a little bit faster now that we're losing the current, and that might trigger a few more bigger fish to eat, because they're down there like, oh my god, look at this school, look at that, what? Those are some really big fish, guys, or it's just so many medium-sized fish. Oh god, there he is. Oh, I lost him. I got a crappy hook set on him. There he is. Got him. That feels like a decent one. got some good head shakes. Oh yeah, another decent one. Maybe 35 to 37 again. Nice. All right, guys, not bad. Another beautiful fish. And this one is probably going to be close to 37. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah, it's tearing up my thumb. It's right on the 0 there. And he is 37. All right, still what's left to beat. It's 37. Fun stuff, but look at that. They're making my thumb bleed. These fish, because the water is still cool, they love to like clamp down on your finger, and then when they shake their head, their sandpaper-like mouth's just tearing up my thumb. But the last like 2 weeks, the bite has been so hot. I've been catching so many fish, and the skin on my thumb is like constantly healing. It's not really thick right now. But let's go back up and get another one. And back out. Come on, 40 incher, 40 incher. We're getting down to probably our last 2 or 3 drifts, and then we're gonna have to start fluking before the tide turns and starts going out. The outgoing tide, it might get a little rougher for bass fishing too, so I'm not sure if we'll try and bass fish again on the out, but I really want to get in some good fluking. See if we can get a doormat. Oh, that might be a better one. Oh, I lost them. Shoot, man. Oh, there he is. That was a really weird and lethargic bite. Oh, yeah. Rip some drag, baby. Rip some drag. That feels like a good one. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. This might be a 40 incher. It's gonna be close. Might be bigger. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a nice one. Definitely the biggest so far for the day. Woo, there he goes. Heck yeah. Sometimes big fish, they'll come right in until they see the boat, and then they'll rip out a lot more line and give you your money's worth. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna be over 40, this one. This is gonna be a great one to enter for the Striper Cup. Come on up, baby. Come on up. Got her. Whew. She might go 44 or 45. Oh. Wow. That's more like it now. All right, y'all, let's see how long she is. She's on the 0 there. Oh my God, 49, look at that. Whew! What a tank, man. What an absolute tank. She's not that heavy, but she's long. Really long. All right, y'all, now that is what I'm talking about. So crazy to go from like 30-inch fish to all of a sudden an upper 40-inch fish. And then, you know, my favorite time of the year to fish for striped bass here off of Montauk is by far the months of May and June, because that's what can happen. You can find yourself in a situation like that, and you just have such a great variety of fish passing through. You know, good size for the table, good sizes for fun, and then you have some of those monsters that you can catch for your trophy. And that's the biggest I've caught this season on my boat. Not the biggest this season. Like I said earlier, I had a customer that plugged up a 49 3/4 inch one a couple days ago, and the biggest I've caught on this boat was, I think, around 51, 52, that a customer caught again, not me. So I've caught many like around 50 inches, but not like 51 or 52. So let's go back up and see if we can get a couple more just like that. But the day is made because of that one trophy fish. Whew! Let's get another. The amount of marks down there is just insane. But they're being really picky now. They don't want to eat, man. Oh, there he is. That feels decent. It's got the weight, but it's not ripping much line, man. Slot size fish. A fat slot. He's been eating well. All right, well, I'm pretty content with our bass bite, and it's 10:03 a.m. Our tide has slowed down perfectly to like 1 to 1.5 miles per hour. So I think from now until maybe like 12, we should have a good window to do a little fluke fishing, and we'll drop down some jigs with some gulp on it, and we'll see if that can get us a couple. But it is gorgeous out here, and I can't be any happier that we got a bass up to 49 inches. Whew. Let's drop down for flatties now. All right, let's grab one of these bait fuel saltwater grubs out of here. I'm gonna trim it back just slightly. get up on this bucktail here. That looks kind of good. I'll also pull out another little gulp. To rig on this smaller, like, teaser bucktail up ahead of the bigger bucktail. This grub isn't scented, so we'll dip it in our gulp juice here. And let's get it down to the bottom. All right, it just hit bottom. And once I get it down there, I'm just gonna give it some light little jigs up and down, making the tail on that those bucktails kind of quiver and wiggle and entice a flatty up to smoke it. Beautiful day, man. So beautiful. Oh, the fluke bite is still extremely futile and basically non-existent, but maybe they don't want the bucktail or the scented plastic like the gulp, and the water is 56 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe they want some meat. So right in here closer to shore, I see some birds working on some bait that's probably being chased to the surface by little cocktail bluefish. So let's see if we can get a couple blues, and then I'm gonna strip them up for cut bait, and maybe that'll help us get a fluke. All right, let's try casting around this fish to live, a little spook. The cocktail bluefish should be all over this little plug. There's a lot of bait right here. This might also be a good spot to fluke fish if the bait is in tight to shore here. Oh, there's one. There he is. Right behind the boat. Perfect size for bait too. Oh, look at that quick release. All right, now let's cut this guy up into perfect little strips. The best part of the bluefish for strip bait is going to be the belly meat section, just like that. And what's good about this is the skin is super tough, so I'll be able to take a little piece like this and hook it on to my fluke rig, and I've got a little squid skirt above the piece of bait. I've got 3 ounces of lead looped on there, and we'll drop it down and see if this fares better than jigging. Oh, there's a fish. Hey, we got a fluke on the cut bait. Oh, quick release, man. All right, we're getting somewhere though. Look at all the bait that he spit up. Little sand eels down there on the bottom. I barely even felt a bite. It was more just like weight on the line. I set the hook and he was there. Oh, I just got ate by a good one. There he is. Maybe not a good one, but another one. Another micro. Postage stamp fluke. At least we're catching them now, though. That's 2. If we're lucky, maybe we'll get one 19.5 or 20 inches, like just about keeper size. They're being very finicky though. I gotta let them eat the bait for a minute or two before trying to set the hook on them. Oh, I got another one here. Oh, he dropped it. Super finicky. Oh, he's back. He is back. There we go. This one might be a little better. Yeah, a little bigger. They got to be 19.5 inches to keep. This one is about 17. So we're getting there. I gotta wait for like a bite and then a little bit of weight, and then I gotta let them eat it for a second or two before trying to set the hook on them. Ooh, I think I got a good one here. Oh, swing and a miss. Maybe he'll come back. They want it just slowly dragged on the bottom without like any movement. And I wonder if the sand eels are burrowed into the sand down there on the bottom, or they're just kind of slowly swimming along in a school, and the fluke really don't want a whole lot of movement. They don't want to move too much for them. They just want to kind of slurp them up as they pass by. There he is. This one's got some good weight to it. Still is short. Oh my God. He just spit up a ton of sand eels. Look at these little baits. They're just all over the boat now.
Well, on this spot, we found the flatties, but unfortunately, we just found the mother lode of short, small fluke. And I caught probably like 20 or 30, and then I decided to call it a day.
All right, folks, we are back inside the inlet, getting to the harbor, and we're gonna head back, tie it up, and that is gonna be it for today. But it was a fun day. Caught a lot of stripers up to 49 inches, and the Fluke were tough to find, but eventually in the end, just right outside the inlet, we found them, and we caught them up to 17 inches. So we've got to go up from there by a lot if we want to catch a contender for the Montauk Anglers Marina Tournament. So our next trip out, I'm thinking maybe we'll go farther out to a couple different spots called Frisbees, Cartwright, Rocky Hill. They're in some deeper water and have a lot more potential for a higher concentration of better quality fish. And I kind of want to bring like a live bait out there, like maybe 3 to 4 inch, 5 inch live bergalls or live squid. I feel like that would be dynamite for a really big fluke, even juvenile sea robins. But we'll see. I got to get a double digit this year. That's like my ultimate top goal. You know, out of, say, like my top 3 goals would be for this season. Number 1 is to get a double digit fluke. Number 2, to get a bluefin tuna on this rig. And number 3, get a white marlin on this rig. So, yeah, you heard it. Hopefully we can make it happen. And if you want to see if I do it all, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification button next to it so you get notified when I post future uploads. And like always, live to fish, fish to live.